Hi everybody, it's Mark Shelsh here. This is the Mark Art Show coming to you from Galeria de las Islas in Metro Manila, Philippines. And today I'm going to continue on this subject about the self-talk that goes on inside our heads. Yesterday we talked about negative self-talk, and today we're going to add the other aspect to it, which is the thief, the fear that the majority of people face. Now, every one of us faces this. There's not a single solitary person on the planet who doesn't face this fear. It's inbound, it's in our DNA, it's part of us, it's the oldest part of our brain, and it can override everything in a moment of panic and fear. Now, most people are held back because of fear. You know, fear that I'm not good enough, fear that I'm going to upset somebody, fear that people will talk about me, fear that I'm going to be a fraud, that I'm going to make a fool of myself, fear that I'm not good enough, my work's not good enough, what I'm doing is not good enough. These fears that build up inside us stop people from accomplishing all the things that they can accomplish. Many people fail because of fear. I remember getting that letter from one lady who spoke about her mother, who was now old and in a nursing home, and her great regret of life is that she always worried about what people thought about her. And in the end, you know, guys, people don't think about us at all. They're all too concerned and wrapped up in their own lives to be worried about our lives. So this fear, let's talk about this fear today. Is this thief that robs us so often of good things, especially when we're about to do something amazing or do something that's new, that's something that's going to push us out onto the edge. The fear comes and says, no, don't do that. What will people say? You can't do that. And the one great one I love is the shame call, when the fear says, who do you think you are to do that? And that's what happens, and we get held back. Now, all of us have had to fight this. All of us are still fighting this. We can defeat it in one area and then it jumps up in another area, especially if you're successful and you're building a great life for yourself as an artist. Okay, we needed this fear, this thing in the back of our head, this little part of our brain, 5,000, 10,000 years ago, when there was lions and tigers running around eating people. We needed it. We needed that fear to be ever vigilant for our survival. So it heard a crack in the bush and we stopped still because there could be a lion or a tiger. We also needed this fear when we lived in the tribe, because when we were in the tribe we had to make sure we did not upset the leader of the tribe, because if we did and he threw us out, then we're stuck. We're out there with the lions and tigers and most likely die. So that's why we conformed. That's why we fitted in. And that's why the brain says to us, don't do that, stop, fit in, conform, be boring, don't be noticed. You know, all those things. That's what it's trying to do. Now, we don't have a tribe we have to fit into today. And last look, coming to work, there was no lions and tigers out there eating people. So these things are no longer needed. So why is it still there? Well, because it's part of us. It's part of our DNA and we're going to always have it. So we've got to learn to work with it and use it to our advantage. So here we are, we're about to do something amazing. We get invited to do a big show and we sit down to think about all these wonderful paintings we're going to do. And first thing the fear says is, you can't do this. Who do you think you are to put yourself out there? You're not a great artist. You're not the best artist around. And all of a sudden this talk goes place. Now we've got to stop it. We've got to learn to say this. When we hear the thief come in, we've got to say, oh, you turned up. I must be doing something right. Okay? We've got to learn to do that. So we open the show, we put it there, and all of a sudden there's people standing looking at our paintings, and we know we've got to walk up and talk to them. And the moment we're about to decide, the fear says, stop, don't do that. They'll criticize you, they'll laugh at you, they'll see that you're a fraud. Don't do that. Stay where you are, go out the back, hide. You don't need to do this. And of course, we're then caught. What do we do? Most people panic. Most people let the fear take over and they have a panic attack and then they fade off. What we've got to do, friends, when the fear says to us, no, don't do that, we've got to say again, oh, you've turned up. This must be the right thing to do. I will go and talk to those people. And you've got to override this fear by consciously saying to yourself, the fear's turned up. The thief is here. is trying to rob me of my sale, rob me of what the credit that I deserve for my paintings, and therefore I will go forward and speak to those people. That's the way to deal with the thief. The only way you can deal with it is to use it to direct you into the right thing to do. So when it says stop, you say, no, let's do it. When it says don't talk to those people, you say, no, I'm going to talk to them. When it says you can't do that big mural, you say, yes, I can do it. I can read the right books, I can learn the skills, I can do what it takes, so I can do it. When you start to talk like that to yourself and use that self-talk, you're going to quieten the thief down. Now, you're not going to ever get rid of the thief. The thief is with you no matter what, and you'll quieten that down in certain areas, especially once you start to talk to people. Then it'll just be silent, because now it feels that you are safe again, you're talking to people. But when you go to do something else that's wonderful and exciting and going to change everything, thief will be there to say, whoa, stop, Mark, you can't do that. No, that's wrong for you. You shouldn't do that. And then you've got to say, oh, you've turned up. This must be the right thing to do. And go forward and do it. Don't let the thief rob you, my friends. Don't let the thief take things from you and ruin your career and steal from you like that. People have lost so much just because they feared what other people would say. Now, we've all been there. We've all been in that place where we're worried, oh, what will people think? What will people say? You've got to say to the thief when it says that, okay, let's go out and see what they will say. And the thief says they're going to criticize you and talk about you. Okay, let's go and see if they really do criticize and really do talk about me. And we all know that the majority of people are interested in themselves and aren't going to talk about you and aren't going to criticize you. Oh, there's some out there who will, but that's because they're called critics. So friends, when the fear comes, use it to your advantage. When the thief says stop, you say, no, let's go. When the thief says, don't talk to those people, you say, hi, I'm going to go and talk to those people. Walk up to them, do that. And when you get some great opportunity put in front of you, and the thief says, oh, you can't do that, you're not trained to do that, you say, yes, I'm doing this, and I will do whatever it takes to accomplish this thing in my life. Learn to override the thief by using it to direct you in the way you should go. Okay, my friends, I hope that's helpful. I hope if you're out there dealing with panic attacks and fear and so forth, once you understand what it is, you can then learn to override it and use it to direct you in the way you want to go. Okay, guys, I hope you have a fabulous day. Get out there and paint and change your world. That's what's important. I look forward to the day when you come and have coffee with me here in Metro Manila. And remember to look after people. Reach out, touch people, be friendly, be the kind of person who cares about others. Reach out. Remember, hugs and smiles are free. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. You have a fabulous day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Okay, ciao.